Hi everyone, welcome to a Yoga with Elle basics class. If you didn't already read it in the little excerpt underneath, we're going to be starting on our backs. So if you've just arranged all of your yoga furniture for sitting up, go ahead and change that. Our theme this week is taking time just for ourselves. Taking time where we intentionally practice keeping our attention just on things that we actually have some control over. And a yoga practice works great for this because we can practice limiting our attention, we can practice limiting where we're focused on to our mats. So this next hour is yours. It is just for you. It is only for the things that are happening on your mat. And as your mind inevitably kicks up other things, then this is an hour to practice putting them outside, refocusing where your mind is. If you're not already on your backs, let's go ahead and join each other there now. If your knees aren't already bent, we're going to start with our knees bent, the rest of our body lying flat, and close your eyes. I invite you to tuck your shoulders underneath and just let the stickiness of the mat lengthen through your neck. Feeling the mat underneath you and promising yourself that for this practice, you're going to stay here on the mat to the best of your ability, keeping your mind to yourself. I invite you to come to your breath, feeling the breath in your bodies. Notice that as distractions come up, whether they're in the room or whether they're in your minds, you can refocus, bringing your attention to your breath. We'll bring our arms out in a T, keeping yourself on the mat. And we're practicing rotating through our shoulders. So, starting with your hands up, we're coming into an outer rotation, bringing your thumbs down towards the ground, and keep on rotating as much as you can. And then we're going to just do the same thing the other direction. So for those of you that are familiar with kite hawk, this is that same move, except for our hands are against the ground. Our arms are against the ground. We'll link that with our breath. Exhaling, pointing your thumbs down and keep on going, inner rotation. Inhaling, using that whole inhale to point your thumbs up. And maybe keep on going a little bit more, outer rotation. Just linking your breath with your movements. And let's come back to center. We'll let that go for a moment. And we're going to do the same thing, except for we're going to rotate one arm outwardly and the other arm inwardly. To help us get started, we'll have our right palm facing up and our left palm facing down. So as we inhale, just keep on going with those rotations in those two different directions. And then exhale, doing the opposite. So actually we're going to change that breathing a little bit. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, doing the opposite. So rotating down with one, rotating up with the other. Inhale, back to center. And exhale. If you would like, we can add our head. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, turning the direction where your thumb is pointing upwards. So that outer rotation. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling the other direction. If there's part of this that is creating a big twist in your mind and it's not making sense, then go ahead and do the part that does make sense to you. Awesome. We're going to let our arms go for a moment, keeping them in our T's, and bringing our feet out to the side of the mat. And we're going to come into some twists, some flowing twists where we keep our feet down. And you can choose how short you want that, like you can choose where to put your feet. So for some people, it feels pretty good to have them relatively close to their hips, just like they were going to come into a bridge. For my knees, it feels good to stretch them out a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Choose the place that works best for you. And then again, we're going to exhale, letting our knees come down to one side, letting that body rotate. Inhale, come back to center. Exhaling, bringing knees down, letting our bodies rotate. Inhaling, coming back to center. Awesome. So, we're going to add our head to this, our neck. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, knees come down to one side, turning and looking the other direction. Inhaling back to center, turning and looking, exhaling the other direction. Now, especially if you've done this practice with me or with somebody else before, at this point it'll probably feel pretty natural to add the arms in. And if that's the case, go ahead and do that. So we're just adding all of these rotations to our bodies. Awesome. Once we've evened that out, we're going to go ahead and come back to our centers. From here, we're going to come into our bridge. So, since we just had our legs out quite a bit, we're going to use our blocks to find or something that is about the width of a block or a fist in between knees, just to find the alignment of our bridges. For this, we'll bring our heels underneath our knees, tucking our shoulder blades under our bodies, letting our palms face up. We'll take a deep breath. Exhale, press through your heels, lift through your low back, coming into your bridge. We have 10 breaths here, letting our upper body relax, letting those shoulders relax, arms and hands relax, while we're engaging, lifting through that lower body, letting the backs of our legs engage, warming up through our backs. Inhale, lift through that collarbone. Exhale, reaching through your tailbone, pulling those heels as if you were going to pull them towards your sits bones. If you notice your shoulders tensing up, your arms tensing up, exhale and relax them. When you're ready, one vertebrae at a time, reaching through your tailbone, will come all the way down. And go ahead and bring your block to your side. Awesome. So, we're going to take that notion of rotation into our legs. So, reaching out with one leg, flaring through our toes, keeping that leg active. We're going to find that outer rotation and even bring our hands down to where that sits bone is and just find a little inward squeeze. Try that with one leg and then the other leg, flaring through your toes, finding that outer rotation and that sits bone squeeze. Beautiful. So we're going to bring this into our elbow to knee abs. And I know for a fact, because I've watched a lot of students, that one of the common things that can happen is when we extend our leg, it goes straight up. So let's try that, bring it straight up, find that outer rotation. And now we're going to bring it down to like a 45-degree angle and just notice what that feels like. Yeah? And we'll do it with the other leg as well. Go ahead and find that extreme all the way up and then bring it down to that 45-degree angle. And notice that even when we're on our backs and we're not doing any other work, that's a little bit more work. So that's why our bodies try to opt out of it. But we're going to just kind of create that body memory now and bring it into elbow to knee. We're going to start with the version with our heads down and our feet down. So remember, in this version, we extend out through the leg, which is the same direction that we're pointing our elbows. So if our elbows go towards the left, we're extending out through the left leg. And the same on the other side. Let's take a deep breath. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up, flattening your back to the ground. Exhale, elbows towards your left. Extend through your left leg, 45 degrees off the floor, and pull belly down. Inhale, foot down, head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up, flattening your back to the ground. Exhale, elbows towards the right. Extend through right leg. Flare those toes 45 degrees. Sits bone squeeze. Pull belly down. Inhale, foot down, head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up, flattening your back to the ground. Exhale, elbows towards the left. Extend through left leg. Flare your toes. Pull belly down. Inhale, foot down, head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right. Extend through right leg. Flare those toes. Pull belly down. Inhale, foot down, head down. Okay, and you can keep going right there if that's what your body needs today. Otherwise, we're going to do this slightly more, the version that gives us a little bit more of a challenge. Let's bring our knees up above our hips. And so since our feet are off the floor, we're going to start by flaring those toes. And then inhale, head and shoulders up. They stay up for this version. Also in this version, we extend through the opposite leg. Listen for the cues. Take a deep breath. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, flattening your back to the ground. Exhale, elbows towards the left, extend through left leg, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale, elbows towards the right, extend through left leg, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, exhale, elbows towards the left, extend through right, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right. Extend through left. Pull belly down. Inhale back to center. Head down. Feet down. And let's just bring our hands to our low bellies for a moment. All right, we're gonna add in one more thing for this next round, and that is adding in a pulse. So when we extend our leg, find that sits bone squeeze, that outer rotation. Instead of just doing it once, we'll try for 3 times. And so Forest Yoga, Anna Forrest named this Star Pulse. Maybe because you're a superstar if you do it. I'm not exactly sure on that.
Superstar.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Brett's in the background. Hi, Brett.
Hey.
So we're going to interlace our fingers all the way to the webbing, and let's go ahead and switch the cross. Then interlace our fingers, then bring our fingers behind head and neck. Bring our knees above our hips and inhale, head and shoulders up. Take a deep breath. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, flattening your back to the ground. Exhale, elbows towards the left, extend through right. Star pulse, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, reaching those knees towards the ceiling. Exhale, elbows towards the left, extend through right, and then left. Pulsing, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Let's just do one more round. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the left, extend through right. Pulse, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right, extend through left. Pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, head down, feet down. Awesome job, everybody. If you made it all the way through that, way to go. If you didn't, way to take care of yourselves. Okay, we're gonna come onto our sides and back to our seats for some wrist stretches. All right. So, bringing our fingertips towards the ground, let's reach out through our thumbs towards the side because they're not going to reach the ground, so that won't give us a good stretch there. And we'll bring 2 breaths, bringing our first set of knuckles towards the ground. So they don't have to touch, they're just coming that direction. And then 2 more breaths, bringing our wrists towards the ground. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and just peel up through those fingers, moving through fingers and wrists. And then go ahead and just reach them out like you're all telling me to stop. We'll bring our shoulders back and down. And we're waiting for those forearms to warm up. So as they start warming up, instead of giving yourself a break, keep pulling those fingertips back towards yourself. That's exactly what we're trying to have happen. Inhale, reaching through those fingertips. Exhale, shoulders down, reach out through those palms. Whew. That is quite sensational for me this moment. I guess I needed it. Okay, we're gonna come into one more wrist stretch. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale, create a fist. Thumb goes on the outside. Point your fist down. Inhale, palms forward. Thumb comes to the inside and pour out. Beautiful. Inhale, fingertips up. Reaching those fingertips away from your wrist. Exhale, create a fist. Thumb goes on the outside. Point your fist down. Inhale, palms forward. Thumb comes to the inside and pour out. Awesome. Let's bring those hands down. Shaking out through those wrists, shaking out through those arms. If you chose a cross-legged position, we're going to switch that cross now. If you find yourself with your mind wandering, bring it back in. We're coming into some neck stretches. So lengthening through our spine, reaching our crown towards the ceiling. Let's exhale, bring those shoulders down away from your ears. We'll start by bringing that left ear to your left shoulder. I'm mirroring you. Bring your right fingertips out, reaching them towards the ground. So inhaling through your fingertips, exhale, exhale, let your head be heavy, let your neck release. Inhale, send your breath in between those rib cage and hip bones. Exhale, let your head be heavy. Beautiful. One more. Reaching that arm out like taffy. Exhale, let your head be heavy and your jaw release. Beautiful. One more breath. Exhale, letting your hand and head be heavy. Let it come in. And let your head be the last thing that comes up. If you're comfortable doing so, just picking your head up with your hand. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, lengthening through your spine, and then exhale, relaxing that right ear towards your right shoulder. Let's reach out through our left fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let your head be heavy. Awesome. Inhale, lengthen through those fingertips. Exhale, let your jaw be heavy, let your head be heavy. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let that neck release. Let your hands come down and your head be heavy. And let's go ahead and just pick it up on the other side. Awesome. Don't you love it when I can't read my, oh, I know what that is. Okay. So one more thing before we come into our down dogs, we're going to explore that rotation in our arms so that we can remember it when we come into that down dog. So bringing those arms out in front of you so we can see what's happening. We're just going to rotate out towards the side. Let your fingers come with you at this point. If you've done this with me a lot before, then we're just kind of having fun and reminding ourselves. So this is outer rotation. And our arms can actually do this amazing thing. Hello, Lulu. And that is, we can keep our elbows pointed upwards. Keep those elbows pointed upwards. Our fingertips can come up as well. So we feel sort of this outer rotation in our upper arms, letting our fingertips come in. Awesome. We're going to take this into our down dogs. So, just starting with your hands on the ground, before we shift up into down dog, let's just find that outer rotation and keep those fingertips pointed forward, and to the best of the ability of your arms, just bringing the eyes of our elbows forward. Awesome. We're going to keep that and then raise up into our down dogs. Now, this is our first down dog of the day. Our hamstrings might not be that stretched out yet, but that's okay. We're going to keep that outer rotation, just reaching our hips back, keeping those kneecaps lifted, and maybe start reaching those heels towards the ground. This is the first one though, so if you want to like pedal your feet a little bit, that's totally okay. We're working on that shoulder support and that outer rotation of our upper arms, inner rotation of that lower arms. We got a lot going on here. So we're going to take one more breath, extending back through those sits bones. And then exhale, let's just come down into our child's pose. Nicely done. So we're going to meet at the front of our mats for some sun salutations. Ah, Lulu, you're being such a diva today. Yes, that's your down dog. All right, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, left foot back, left knee down, top of left foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Engage your core. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down, torso down. Elbows underneath our shoulders. Inhale, lifting up out of those shoulders, low cobra. Exhale, traction out all the way down. Hands under shoulders, moving from your core. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Top of the right of our foot, top of that right foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, hands down. Forward fold. Press through those feet. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to just sort of talk through the cues this time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend at your waist. You can bend those knees as well to protect your low back. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Top of that right foot comes to the ground. Feel for that big toe side of your foot on the ground. Inhale, lunge. Moving from our core. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. And pause. We're going to be lifting up out of those shoulders. And we can even find that outer rotation to help us here. So we're lifting up out of our shoulders, pulling our shoulders back away from our ears so we feel those pecs engage. Our core is engaged. We're going to keep all of this support, just bend our elbows and lower down. From here, our elbows come underneath our shoulders. Point back through those toes. If your anatomy allows, tuck your tailbone under, lengthening through that low back. Lift up through your shoulders. We're just going to pull ourselves forward a little bit, finding space between our rib cage and our hip bones. If in all of this lengthening you have more room, go ahead and straighten those arms. Shoulders come away from ears. Then pulling ourselves forward. So we're tractioning out that low back, finding length this whole way down. Hands come under shoulders. Again, move from your core, first to knees, then to toes. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Top of your left foot comes to the ground. Again, feel for the big toe side of your left foot on the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Bending your knees, forward fold. Awesome. To protect our low back, pull your low belly into your spine, finding support there. Press through your feet. Inhale, reach all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Nicely done. So this next 2 rounds, I'll be calling out cues, but we're not going to slow down. We're just warming ourselves up. So if you know this, ignore me. Move with your own breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot back, left knee down. Top of our left foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Moving from our core. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down, torso down. Elbows come underneath shoulders. Lengthen through our spine. Inhale, low cobras. Exhale, traction and lengthen all the way down. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Top of our right foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Forward fold. Press through our feet. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot back, right knee down. Top of the right foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Moving from our core. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Torso down. Elbows come underneath shoulders. Pointing through our toes. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, pulling forward, tractioning out all the way down. Hands under shoulders, move from your core. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Top of our left foot comes to the ground. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands down. Forward fold. Press through our feet. Reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautifully done. Okay. So, we're going to come into our triangle pose. Let's start at the front of our mat and step our right foot back. Remembering in triangle, our front foot is pointed smack dab at the front of the mat, and our back foot is in 45-degree angles. And just as in Warrior Two, our heel is bisecting our arch. Just as in Warrior Two, we're pointing our tailbone down. So as we begin this pose, we feel that support through this right glute, which is supporting our low back. We're lifting up through our knees, through those inner thighs. Our legs are going to stay strong here. And while we're thinking about our legs, we're going to come back into this notion of inner rotation and outer rotation. And just like our arms in down dog, both of the outer and inner rotations are actually happening here. So we start finding that outer rotation. I think this is easier to find. And even though our hips aren't symmetrical, we are rotating outwardly from both of them. If we do just this part, we feel, let's see if I can even exaggerate it. My feet don't really do it well because I have such high arches, but we can feel that weight coming into the outsides of our feet. So keeping those knees engaged, all of that lift to support your legs, we're going to keep that outer rotation, that feeling through our hips, and just bring the balls of our feet back down. Awesome. So we're going to keep all of that support, reaching out through our fingers. Inhale, reaching forward. Wherever the shoulder lies, we're just going to bring this top arm down. So that might be to our calf or to our knee, and just stack those shoulders. For the very flexible among you, if you find your hand on the ground, check it out, because it might be that you're so flexible your hand can be on the ground and your shoulders are stacked, but it's very likely that this right shoulder is rolling down and I'm kind of struggling here. So come out of that pose enough that your arms can be stacked. From here, we're either looking up at the ceiling, or in forest yoga, we can add in that neck release. So letting our heads be very heavy here. Awesome. Either way, we're going to continue lengthening through our spine as we come up. Refinding that strength through our legs, that outer rotation and inner rotation. We're going to bring this front knee over our front ankle, pointing those tailbones down, and finding warrior two. Let's bring shoulder shrugs into this. So inhale, bring those shoulders all the way up to our ears. Bring the tops of our shoulder blades together. Exhale, drag down. Inhale, send your breath in between shoulder blades. Exhale, bottom of shoulder blades together and drag down. Inhale, send your breath in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, bottom of shoulder blades together and drag down. Inhale, send your breath in between shoulder blades. Exhale, shoulders away from ears, reaching out through your fingertips. We're coming into kite hawk, where we started this whole class from. Inhale, thumbs up, keep on going. Exhale, thumbs come down, keep on going. Inhaling and exhaling. Staying with this rotation. Beautiful. Then, coming back to warrior two, we're going to cartwheel down, bringing our hands to the ground and starting by bringing our back knee to the ground for a kneeling lunge. And we're going to bring this into a twist, so I'm going to just switch directions so you can see a little bit better. We have the option of keeping this right hand on the ground or on the mat and simply twisting on the ground or on a block. Of course, it's on a mat. Yeah, and just twisting over. Our other option is to create a fist with this right hand, crossing it over the left, and then bring the left hand on top of the right fist. So the right wrist is straight, and we're twisting towards our left. Yeah. If you would like a little bit more challenge, tuck your back toe under and go ahead and straighten through this back leg. Beautifully done. Let's go ahead and bring our knee down if it was up. Unwinding through those hands. And then from here, we're just going to come into our down dog. And we have 10 breaths in down dog. Option for one leg up for 5, other leg up for 5. For many of us, we get a little bit better hamstring stretch with our legs down. So you can also stay here. When you're done, let's just meet in a child pose. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So let's come out of those child's pose or embryo poses. We're meeting at the front of our mats. And we'll step back through your left foot this time, coming into our triangle poses. So lifting through those knees and those inner hamstrings. Point that tailbone down. We're creating all of this strength in our legs. And then coming into outer rotation. Finding that outer rotation of our hips. And notice what this feels like in our hips. Keep that feeling and just press down ever so slightly through the balls of your feet. Excellent. Inhale, send those breath in between shoulder blades. Exhale, shoulders away from ears. Reach out through your fingertips. Keeping those legs straight, pressing through your feet. Inhale, reach over this front leg as far as it goes. Then bring your right hand down, stacking your shoulders, checking yourself if your hand is way down on the ground. Make sure those shoulders are stacked, and reaching upwards. Choices for our head, looking straight up at the ceiling or coming into neck release. Either way, we're going to extend through our spine as we come all the way up. Then, transitioning into Warrior Two. Once again, finding that outer rotation. Once again, pointing that tailbone down, pressing through the balls of our feet. We're going to come into our shoulder shrugs. Inhale, shoulders up all the way to our ears. Bring the tops of our shoulder blades together. Exhale, drag down. Inhale, send your breath in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, middle of shoulder blades together and drag down. Inhale, send your breath in between shoulder blades. Exhale, bottom of shoulder blades together and go ahead and drag down. Inhale, sending your breath in between shoulder blades. Exhale, shoulders away from ears. Reach out through those fingertips and we're coming into kite hawk. Thumbs come up, outer rotation, keep on going. Exhale. Thumbs coming towards the ground, keep on going, moving with your breath. If you're distracted, bring your attention to all of the subtle and overt rotation that's happening right now in your bodies. There's so much to pay attention to happening right on your mats. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, we're going to cartwheel down, hands come to the ground, left knee comes to the ground. And again, we're coming into those twists, so I'm going to switch directions. We have that option for twist again. This time our left hand can stay on the ground or a block, twisting up, easy twisting lunge. Or, for a little bit more challenge, create a fist with your left hand, crossing it over your right thigh. Right hand comes on top of your left fist, twisting open. Exhale, maybe releasing through that neck. If you would like more of a challenge, using your core, we're going to tuck our back toes under, straightening through these back legs. Inhale into your twist. Exhale, shoulders away from ears. Let your head be heavy. Awesome, you're doing great. I can just feel you're doing great. To come down, back knee comes down. Go ahead and unwind. Hands come underneath our shoulders, and once again, we're pressing into down dog. We have 10 breaths in down dog. Again, we're finding that outer rotation of our arms. Our fingers keep pointing forward, but the eyes of our elbows are forward. Letting heels come towards the ground, lifting up through our knees, through those inner thighs. Even if you're not doing one leg up for 5, other leg up for 5, there's so much going on in down dogs. And for me, personally, it's quite sensational to let that back body open up. When you're done with those 10 breaths, again, we're just going to return to child's pose or embryo, which is just child's pose with our hands back by our feet. Awesome. All right, we're going to return to the front of our mats one more time. for some twisting warrior ones. And let's grab a block in case we want them. So, starting from, let's go ahead and step our left foot back first. We're coming into our warrior ones, so lifting up through this back leg, keeping that active. We're going to bring this right hip forward. So feeling that juxtaposition of pressing into that right foot, bringing this right hip forward, hip bone forward, pointing your tailbone down. And since we're twisting, be generous with yourself. Find a way to stand on your mat where your hip bones are actually parallel with the front of your mat. Beautiful. To begin with, we're going to bring this left hand down to the ground, maybe to a block. It can be up as high as you want. And we're just coming into easy twisting warrior. If, like me, you're finding that instead of these shoulders stacking, this left arm is, or this right arm is struggling. You can kind of see that. My shoulders rolled in and my hands like trying to reach back anyways. I'm just going to bring my hands to my hips, working on that shoulder rotation. And so I can bring the work of the pose into that twist rather than into struggling with my arm. Excellent. Moving from our core, we're going to go ahead and stand up, finding warrior one. Creating a fist with our left hand. I think you know what's coming. We're going to cross over that right hip. Right hand comes onto that left fist, twisting towards the right. And again, we can let that neck release. In forest, every time we turn around, we're letting tension out of that neck. Beautiful. Moving from our core, let's go ahead and come all the way up. And let's just end with our hands to heart. Taking that slow step forward. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stepping back through your right foot. Beautiful. We're going to find that warrior one. This time, bringing our right hand down to the ground or to a block. Bringing this left arm up or to our hips. Find a way to let the work of the pose be around using your core, bringing yourself into this twist, opening up. Exhale, let your head be heavy. Inhale, open. Exhale, let your head be heavy. Excellent. One more breath here. And then using that exhale, press through your feet to rise back up. We're going to create a fist with this right hand crossing over our left side. Left hand comes on top of that right fist, opening up. One more chance, letting that neck go. Beautiful. Moving from our core, we're going to go ahead and rise back up. Then let's exhale, bring our hands down. Just step this back foot forward. We're coming into one last forward fold. Let's bend our knees enough that we can bring our peace fingers around those big toes. Let your head hang. Press through your heels, straighten through your legs. If they happen to straighten all the way, then lifting through your kneecaps. Beautiful. From here, Bending our knees. We're going to come down onto our backs. We'll go ahead, hug our knees in, sending our breath nice and low in our rib cage. And then we'll come into a twist on our right side. Twisting our legs down to the right, rolling your left shoulder open. Feeling this last deep twist and rotation. Feeling this nice stretch through our hip and our shoulders. Moving from our core, we'll come back to the center. And again, do the same thing over on the left side, letting our knees come down, opening up through our bodies. And then when we come back to center, we're getting ready for Shavasana. This is your home you're in, your own private yoga place. Go ahead and come into any Shavasana that's comfortable for you. For me, I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades underneath so that the stickiness of the mat is holding my neck long. Then lifting up through my low back. I'm going to just come on down one vertebrae at a time, just nestling my sacrum into the mat. And then extending out, first the right pose, and then through the left pose. Right leg and left leg. And then settling into Shavasana. To come out, we're just going to move through fingers and toes, rolling onto one side of our body or the other. Using our hands, supporting ourselves up to our seated position. If you can, let your head be the last thing you lift up. Thank you for joining me in this practice. It's such a pleasure to lead you. Aho, namaste.